why don't you focus? There you go. What's up, Internet? My name's James. If you don't know me by now, I am a homeless 22-year-old engineer traveling America because I want to understand me and I want to understand you. And so instead of doing what everyone else was doing, I decided to do whatever I wanted to do. Basically, that's it. But anyway, the reason why I'm making this video today is because I recently posted on my blog a how to find your why post. And it comes right now because I met a lot of people on the road and they all seem very curious as to how I'm so focused and how I'm so motivated to do what I want to do in life. And they're also curious, and I think it's basically because they don't know what their why is yet, and they're kind of floundering, and so they're seeking advice. They're curious, how did I do it? So I wrote a post on how I did it, and I wanted to show you today the book that I mentioned and explain a little bit more more specifically on certain parts as to what you should do with your book. So anyway, this is my book. It is me. It has my name on it, and it has my title on it, Never Stop Trying. And I think that this saved my life, honestly, because last year I was a 21-year-old depressed senior in college with no idea what to do, and I just was very hopeless, and I had one desire to live a better life, and that's all I really needed. After shit went bad at the end of the year, I recognized that I can't keep living like that, and so I started making a change, and I wrote down my feelings, and I created a scheme and a plan for me to stay consistent on my mission to successfully live a happy life and accomplish goals that I've set out for myself forever. So anyway, in my post I mentioned that there's three main sections to my book: principles, goals, and objectives. And I think that those are pretty good. There may be more room for others, but you do whatever you want to do, and you do whatever you need to do to make you happy and to make you feel important, as I mentioned in the post. But I just wanted to show you how my layout goes and what my book looks like. So it's kind of screwed up because it's all ink too, so it's a mess. But in the back I have my desires, needs, values, and passions. And I just wanted to show you what like one of my pages looks like. It doesn't have to be full. It doesn't have to be super like ridiculous. Like, just write down what you think. It's okay. It's you. So there's no judgment. You can show other people. You don't have to show other people. It's you. Don't worry about it. So this is what my passions page looks like. Notice it's not a full page of text. It's just the things that I've thought of over the time and during the transition. And I just number them. These ones you don't cross out like the objectives. These ones will stay forever. And so I've got another page, like this is my material necessities page that I talked about. And you can see it's just a numbered list. And you should really think hard about this. And I mentioned being alone when you're writing down these principles. That's super important. You should try to be alone, be sincere, don't bullshit. Just what do you need in life? What do you want in life? What makes you happy? And why do you wake up? Why do you go to sleep? Why do you keep living, basically? So that's the back for me. Those are my principles. The front for me is my goals. So these, I mentioned, the timelines can be kind of more open. So it's like months to years, basically. So I have my goals here. And they are all basically a year or a few months long. This one's like a few years because this is me. Oh, actually, no, this one's a few years because it's me getting my doctorate. And these are big items. These are things that you really want to accomplish on a grand scale, like start a family or get a job. Big things, big life items, the obstacles that you'll have to face you'll have to endure hardship for, basically. And with these and the principles, you create your objectives. And objectives are action items, things that you could do daily in order to achieve these goals. And those start after a few extra blank pages, like I mentioned in the post, right here. And every day you just need to write bulleted items. This is what I want to accomplish today. It doesn't have to be ridiculous. If it takes more than like a minute to do, write it down so that you get it done. Like I have shave in here. I have do laundry. Just honestly, whatever it takes, as long as it's going to help you realize your goal and align with your principles, write it down and check it off when you're finished. If you don't check something off at the end of the day, that's okay. Put it on the list for the next day. Put it on the objective for the next day, okay? And if you see that you're missing that same one over and over again, you really need to think about whether or not you want to do it at all. And if you do, then you need to break it up into smaller pieces. If you don't, then figure out what goal you're not going to be achieving if you don't do it, because you wrote these down for a reason. You wrote them down because they're going to help you achieve your goals. So figure out why you don't want to do that. But anyway, like I mentioned like fitness and stuff and health, and I have my fitness page here, and every day I write in it and I cross them off. I cross off everything as I complete it, and it helps me feel productive. It helps me feel like I'm making active movements towards my goals and towards my passions, and it very much helps to write things down. More than just action items, I also write notes. You can use it as sort of a diary. I don't necessarily recommend that, but as long as you can recognize items and objectives that you're completing on a daily basis to get to your goals, that's the point. So essentially that's it. Just those 3 sections, and that's you in a book. You should carry this around with you always. I carry it with me to the gym. I took it to my job interview. Take it to parties. I don't care. Just recognize that at some point you're going to think of something that you want to put in here, and maybe you'll type it out on your phone or something and put it in later, but it's a lot easier just to whip the book out and write it down. And even more so, there's also going to be occasions where you doubt yourself and you doubt whether or not you're on the right path. And the best way to cure that doubt is to look back through the book and really understand where you came from and who you are, because this is you. Everything in this book better be sincere. Don't bullshit. No one's looking at this but you, so why lie? But seriously, you make those 3 sections. You make your principles and your goals in the beginning during your transition, and every day after, you create objectives that will help you achieve your goals, and celebrate when you complete them. Celebrate when you accomplish a goal, a major goal, and keep trying. Just keep pushing, because life's hard. It's hard for everybody. Everybody struggles at some point. And the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you can start working on making your life better and making it happier. But anyway, this is my book. Those are my tips. That's how I did it. Make it personalized. I urge you to make it personalized. Otherwise, it's not going to be easy to follow, easy to do. And so if you want to add any principles in, if you want to add any sections in, go for it. Knock yourself out. It's you. You really need to remember that. Do what makes you happy and write down what makes you happy so that you could do it more often. Because the moment you forget who you are, you lose track of just about everything. So strictly define who you are in this book, what you want to be, and why you want to be it. And just do that every day. It's not that hard. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. A little show and tell. And you should read my post. It's far more well-versed because I actually thought about it. This is all one take. But I really appreciate you guys caring and trying. If you're ever in a situation like I was in, I totally understand where you are. And if you want to get out of it, this will help. This will help a lot. And so just remember, never stop trying. All right. I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you guys have any questions, any curiosities I need to extinguish, go ahead and ask them. And we'll figure it out together, okay?